Hey, hey, hey. Check one, check two. Are we on? I think we are. Um, Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I usually like to hit it around 7:30, but a little late tonight. Just got back. Um, my wife told me to wear a different hat tonight, but she's seen too much of this one. But man, it's my hat. You know, you get a hat you like, and it's your go-to for a while. But anyway, always happy to be here on Wednesday evenings. Happy New Year. Here we go. 2022. Um, a clean slate, a new start. Um, Something just popped up on my screen. What was it? And lots of promise and lots to look up to. Hey, I see people are on. Ramon or Raymond, hello. Snow Panther, hi. Don Nathan, good evening, Bobby. Great to see you on. It's great to see you guys on. Um, it's always a thrill to sit on here and talk and chat. And I mean, I love doing videos, but it's a one-way street, you know. I I get on there and I do my thing and I try to do my best and be funny and entertaining, but also informative and be of some help. But on here, it's so cool to have the immediate conversations. And anyway, I see Das Boots. Hey, brother, Alan. Hey, hey. So last week we talked about. Let me jump into this because um, this week's as much for me to learn as it is for everyone else out there to learn. We talked about the must-have plugin list, and I basically said, look, the must-in plugin list, you've got it all. You've got it. The plugins that come with these DAWs now are fantastic, and you can make a record with them that sounds fantastic. A movie, a TV thing, whatever. Um, they're the plugins in these DAWs are fantastic, and I got a little bit of I've got some comments that said, "Hey, look, that we agree, blah 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 blah, but we'd really like to know, you know, what a great plugin list looks like and what you're using." So happy to go over that. Like I said last week, the reason that I use the plugins that I do is because I'm used to them, and it's a quick workflow. I've used a lot of them for a long time. Some of them are brand new that I'm using, but it's a comfort factor. It's an ease factor. It's a knowing, and it's a helps my workflow because a lot of what I do, I have to keep the gas to the pedal and get done. So I went through 4 or 5 songs that I've done just recently to find and made lists. So I'm going to be looking over here at my phone because I made the list of stuff that I've been using because I didn't want to leave anything out. I'm sure I probably did anyway. But let me go through this list of stuff that I really think is worth the money. I've tried almost everything, and these are things that I use all the time, every mix, that I think sound great, that I think are worth the money. Some of them are more expensive than others, but are worth it. And um, so let me start off with compressors. And as I go through these, I really would love to see what you guys are using too, because there's things out there I missed. There's things I don't know about. I try to keep up on things to look around, see what's going on, but you guys know as much as I do. So I'm just telling you what works for me, and it gets me great results. And so let me go down this list of stuff. Some of them you may know, some of them you may not know. But and compressors. The Waves 1176 is fantastic. The MV2 by Waves is fantastic. Um, the Arvox is fantastic. I also have been using the Pawn Shop compressor a lot by Cornef Audio. Anything Cornef Audio, you need to go check out. It's amazing. It's fantastic. I use the Pawn Shop compressor in every mix. I use the David Bendith compressor in every mix. It's called the Plus 10. It's by Boz. Another amazing compressor based on the Compex compressor, I think. I use the Slate and the UAD distressors. For those of you that are on the UAD platform and are able to use those, I use the CLA LA2A. One new one that I can't remember who told me last week is the Klanghelm compressor. I'd seen it around for a long time, never gave it a chance, never gave it a shot, and it is amazing. So something that I learned from you guys that is just, I'm just putting it on acoustic guitars this week, and it's magic. So that's kind of my list of compressors, not my bus compressors, but those are my go-to things for on my channels: vocals, guitars, bass, drums. I really that's the stuff I use, and I use it all the time, and it works every time. And I have no qualms about recommending any of that. Obviously, you know, the Slate stuff can be, you can buy it one at a time, or it can be subscription. I don't subscribe to Slate, but I own a lot of their stuff. You know, Waves has tons of good, cool stuff, but I'm trying to cherry pick stuff out of these companies that I think are amazing and really work, that I use all the time. All right, next, SSL for the bus compression. Definitely an SSL master bus compressor. I've used the Waves before. It's great. I love the Slate version. And I also use the Focusrite Red Slate version. Both fantastic. Love it. It never fails, and it does that gluey SSL thing. It's awesome. Ozone 9 is on all my master bus stuff. I usually put some EQ in. You know, it's a Ozone 9 can have different sections. I'll usually put an EQ, compressor, a stereo spread, and then the limiter. Probably a little pricey, but amazing. The Ozone 9 stuff is amazing. I still love the Waves L2 for its kind of grainy kind of, I use it more for its tonality. I'm not really cranking down that hard on it as far as getting my levels up. I do a lot of that with the Ozone 9, but I still like a little bit of the Waves L2 in there for that thing that it does. Also the Fab Filter L2, amazing for what it does. Obviously, you can limit the crap out of it. It sounds great, but it has another tonality. Every now and then, I'll use the Vitamin by Waves, which does a funny, cool, weird kind of thingy. Not as much anymore, though, but I wanted to put it on the list because it's at least something that I feel if you demoed it, it'd be worth knowing what it's about. And I think the To Die For limiter for my master bus is by a company called Newfangled Audio. Now, that one takes a lot of horsepower. So usually, after I get my mix, I'll open another session up and master with that compressor. I learned about that compressor from Andrew Shep. Not personally, but I saw him online raving about it, and I demoed it, and it's stunning. So usually my order of master bus will be compressor wise well, I'll do the SSL first, then the ozone that has a little bit of compression, and then I'm sorry, the SSL, the Focusrite Red, um, the ozone, which still I just tap the compressor in it and do the stereo spreading imagery and a little bit of EQ, and also the limiter in that, which I really kind of crank down to get my level up. Then after that, I'll do a little bit of the Fab Filter L2, just not much, but there's a tonality thing. And then after that, the L2, the Waves L2, because these are tone things. I'm not jamming for level on them, but they all kind of work together in tandem with this cool tone thing. So that's that. So that's kind of my master bus stuff as far as compression and limiting. There's more in my master bus, but we'll get to that. Reverbs. Anything Valhalla. Valhalla reverbs are amazing. The plate, the room, all that stuff. I use all those. I do use the UAD EMT 140 plate, which I think is fantastic. The Eventide Black Hole reverb is awesome. It does a specific thing. You probably can't use it on every mix, but it's otherworldly, really cool. I like the Slate reverb a lot. He's modeled a bunch of great reverbs in there, plates, rooms, all kinds of stuff. I think it's fantastic. I usually have probably two different Slate reverbs. I mean the same plugin, but two different variations of it on a mix. I think I said the Spirit Verb, right? The Spirit Verb is a spring reverb. It's if you've not experienced spring reverb, try the demo the Spirit Verb out, because spring reverb does a whole different thing, and it's a whole different texture that in certain songs nothing else sounds better. So make sure you're aware of spring reverbs, and that's a great one. I love Echo Boy by Sound Toys, the Abbey Road stuff from Waves. There's a really cool, bizarre, weird reverb called Fathoms that does its own thing. You can check it out on YouTube. There's videos about it and people playing with it and doing stuff. It's very specific, but when you need that thing, it's really, really good, called Fathoms. Not in every mix. A lot of these other things are in every mix, but not that one, not the Black Hole reverb, because they do kind of specific things that I don't always need, but they're very good. Any of the CLA effects, the Waves thing that has the faders, the reverbs in there are great, and the effects in there are great. The EQ and the stereo spread and the compression. I put this in the reverb category because it has reverbs in it, but a lot of people frown on it, like, oh, I don't use one thing for all that. But you can't argue with the sound of that thing. They all sound great. He's got drums and bass and guitar and acoustic effects, and they're just the module with lots of faders on them. They're great. And then the CLA Epic, which is somewhat new, is also a fantastic reverb. I did a video on 3D reverb. You can check it out. It's on my channel, and it shows kind of my method of using reverbs and delay and whatever. It's a good one to check out because it's similar to what the CLA Epic does, but I think this technique has even more spread. It's a little cooler because both sides you can kind of get really different colors if you're using different reverbs. Anyway, so that's it for reverbs. I'm sure I'm going to look on these comments here in a minute. I'm sure there's all kinds of other great stuff I'm missing, but I'm just telling you what I use. EQ. Fab Filter, anything is great. Fab Filter is amazing. I love the Q3. The SSL channel strip, I use the Waves, but Lots of companies make them. UAD makes it. I think maybe IK Multimedia makes one. Um, Slate makes one. I love the old school Waves SSL channel strip. It's really great, and it does that SSL thing if you need that thing. There's also an EQ called the MAGG4, MAGG4 EQ. Um, it is I use it on the UAD Universal Audio platform. It does a thing on the high end. I think it's called Air that I haven't heard anything else do. And for me, that's kind of a one trick pony with that. I mean, it does a lot of other things, but that's, sometimes you have plugins you just go to for that thing. That's one of those, and it's awesome. Um, you can find it out there. I can't remember who makes it. Um, it's not on the UAD platform for those of you who don't have any UAD stuff that's proprietary to run it. So it is out there besides that. Um, the Split EQ by Eventide, which is a whole different animal that does things with transients and the body of things. Um, it's fascinating. I'm just starting to introduce it into some mixes, and I can see how it's going to be around for a long time for me and probably everyone else. I um, I don't think I've mastered it yet, but I'm getting good at it. And Plugin Alliance offers the mod. Thanks, Jake. Um, but really, really, the split EQ is a whole different kind of cool thing, animal. I love the Neve 1073 on the UAD platform. I've tried the Neve Wave stuff, which I think they call God, what are they? Not Mercury. They call it something else, and I'm not really fond of the Neve Wave stuff. I love the Neve. I think the Neve UAD thing. The Neve stuff on UAD is the best. Slate makes some, but I for some reason I just like the Neve on the UAD. Waves API is great, different than SSL EQ, different sound, whatever, but affordable and fantastic. Um, the Metric Halo channel strip. Um, it's old school, been around forever. Waves V series. Thank you, Jake. The V series is what Waves. The V series is the Neve series. Thanks, I couldn't remember that. Anyway, Metric Halo channel is fantastic. Um, it does that real Serban thing to the vocals. It's from what they say, that's what he uses on vocals, and I've heard some inside things that's true. I can't stake my life on it, but I know that when you do certain things between the EQ and the compression in that channel strip, it does sound very Serban-ish, which is great for pop music. Um, Isotope Alloy, Trash, and Nectar, all great EQ stuff. Different. I probably don't use those as much, but still, for all of you, anything on here, I would recommend to at least demo before you spend your money on it to see if, like, oh, I get that. I like that sound. Um, the Manly and the Massive Passive Curve Bender, they don't make it to every song. They're just every once in a while. I know other guys that swear by it and use it on everything, and they probably know more about it than I do. It's just one of those things I haven't been able to. Um, I don't know. It's just, we all have our thing. I just don't know if it's my thing, but nonetheless, they're fantastic. On to delays. The Waves H delay is fantastic. It's like having a great screwdriver or hammer. It's always wonderful. It's always great. It always sounds awesome. Just make sure that you turn on the bottom right corner the analog circuit off. Don't put it on one. Don't put it on two, three, four. It's noisy and it will make you insane. Turn that part of it off and you're golden. The Galaxy Tape Echo, which is on the UAD platform. Someone else may make that as well. That's not on the UAD platform, and it's I can't remember, but anyway, that's a great one. It's tape tape slap, tape echo. Really, really very cool. The T-Rex TR5 tape echo um, is also another great delay, very similar to the Galaxy tape echo. Um, and then the D16 repeater, which also Slate has a version of that. I don't know what he calls it, but I find between those, man, I can get all the delay I need. Um, Great presets on all of them, great tonality, great. They do different things, but um, they end up finding their way on a lot of my mixes. Um, this is a tough one for me. Um, Tape emulation, and I'm embarrassed to say this, and it may not be popular, but I kind of don't get it. I've tried them all. I have them all. Um, I have the Waves Kramer, which to me makes I can hear the most when I do when I mangle it and whatever. I can hear that it does things. I don't know that it sounds like tape, but it does things for certain things that I like. Um, but I have the ATR whatever on 102, ATR 102. I have that on the UAD platform. I have the Studer tape machine on the UAD platform. I've got the Slate tape machine. I just, when I put them on things, I kind of listen and go, well, I don't, it's kind of doing some EQ bumps or whatever, but I don't know that I hear tape compression and tape things going on. It's different, but it doesn't ever sound like tape to me. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but they don't make it on my mixes. I never use that stuff, and they say it tames transients and all that kind of stuff, and also all the console, harmonic distortion stuff. I just I don't know. I do like the Waves NLS. Now I do put that on the first thing on my master bus, um, and I get that. Something happens, and I use what's mic spike stent setting, and it sounds good. It does something. I don't know if it's console harmonics or not, but it's doing something that I like. So I don't, man, I don't know about the tape thing and the console harmonic distortion thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess it never seems to make a difference to me. I kind of feel like I'm getting sold, um, but I could be wrong about that. Okay, onward. Um, for widening spread, the Wave stereo spread is fantastic. It's got one fader and then like a tilt knob, and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. Probably super cheap. Um, Little Micro Shift is by Sound Toys. Fantastic on acoustic guitars. Fantastic on background vocals. Just gives a nice chorusy, um, super nice, just warm chorusy spread. Fantastic. There's also, I think, Micro Shift, or there's a Little Micro Shift and Micro Shift maybe. They're both by Sound Toys. They're both great. Um, what else? There is there's a thing by Brainworks BX called Shed Spread that's fantastic for heavy guitars. That's my left and right heavy guitars to a bus, and I put this Shed Spread on, and it's got a stereo image thing and then a thing called Shred. The Shred button just gives it a little more girth, or the knob gives it a little more girth and gnarly, and the spread thing is so great for, it's tailor made for heavy guitars. It's fantastic. Um, like I said before, the spread in Ozone 9, where you can pick different frequencies. I don't like to spread my low frequencies. like my low stuff mono. Um, but the spread of the bright stuff in the mix, your overheads, your top end of your background vocals, your percussion, your top end of acoustics, all that stuff. It sounds really nice spread. Um, it's almost like an MS thing, you know, mono stereo where you can EQ different things, but this spreads it out and just it spreads things in those particular EQ ranges. That's fantastic. Um, I love Metaflanger by Waves. Um, the Boss CE1 um, and the Boss CE1. There may be that might be outside of the UAD platform as well, but I use it inside the UAD platform. And I forgot one for the delay. The EP34 tape echo is great too. Old school tape echo, whatever. There's one more chorus that everyone needs to know about. You can find it on the UAD platform, and you can find it as a guitar effect inside Amplitude 4 in the Joe Satriani bundle. I think it's in the Joe Satriani bundle. But it's called Tri-Stereo Chorus. And it is the coolest three-way spreading analog sounding chorus that you'll ever hear. It can be used on our Fender Rhodes. It can be used on clean guitars. It could be used on background vocals. I think it was originally made for a Fender Rhodes. They called them back in the day Dynamite Piano. And then another company made them, I think, called Songbird. But they have really recreated these on the UAD platform, Tri-Stereo Chorus. And then, gosh, I want to say it's in the Satriani sound pack for Amplitude 5. But at any rate, you can Google Tri-Stereo Chorus by Amplitude and find out what it is and where it is and how to get it. But big time get these. Check that one out. It's really cool and different. De-esser, I use two. I use the Waves, and I don't use the black Renaissance one or whatever. I use the white one that has the slider, and you can pick the frequency you want and listen to that frequency. Super simple. And I also like the Fab filter. I think you can't go wrong with either of those two. Now, some specialty plugins that kind of do cool mangly things to your sounds that you know, add some spice and some color and some character to your tracks that just aren't compression and EQ and the stuff that are like in your toolbox. This is some like really different special things I use that you know, you can people hear it and go, wow, what's that, man? Well, here's what it is. I love the way Kilohertz. I think that's a company unto itself. And then Slate also has a version of it. Lots of, just check it out. You can go watch a YouTube video about it. It's great. Lots of cool, weird, totally cool stuff. There's a great plugin that's not expensive, that's got just tons of great presets called Drip, D-R-I-P. Fantastic. Dan Corneff, back to Corneff Audio, has one called the Ape, A-I-P, that's really good for mangling and unmangling guitar sounds, heavy distorted guitars. You can really dip frequencies out that are killing you, and you could really tailor the distortion and get it out of the way of vocal. That's may not be as a specialty that's gonna you know, do the wow thing to your tracks. It might be more of a toolbox type thing that really you can get yourself out of a jam in. But I put it in this category. And anything else for Corneff Audio, just go get it. He also makes a great SSL talkback limiter compressor. It's famous for the Phil Collins do 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 do. Um, Very aggressive talkback compressor. Fantastic. Um, the Slate Murda Melodies, kind of new plug-in, but that really mangles stuff fantastically. Phase Mistress and Pan Man by Sound Toys, really cool. SPL Transient Designer, you can really change the attack and delay and decay and all kinds for anything and really make it sound different. There's another one, and I don't know how to pronounce this, but I've been using it lately, called Pants, Pancz. It kind of does what that does, but in a different way and really super cool. Um, the Vocal Synth 2 by Isotope is well worth the money, and well, it's the best vocoder you'll find. Software vocoder. It's fantastic. It it's super easy to use. Just read the directions, and you can do all kinds of great stuff with that. That's the go-to vocoder. Check that one out. There's another great one called Cassette. That's this janky little cassette going, playing, and you can mangle it and do all kinds of weird, cool stuff to it. You put it as a plug-in, it'll mangle your sound and all that, and make it sound like a bad anything from a micro cassette to a hi-fi cassette machine. It just mangles stuff really nicely. Also, there's a plugin called Low Ender that helps with your subs in your song, your sub frequencies. It's really cool. So that's what I kind of use for that stuff. And the last one is Distortion. For guitar distortion, if I'm playing or have someone play just a direct guitar, I think Amplitude and Guitar Rig are both fantastic. You can't go wrong with either of those. They're both as good as it gets. I think it's Amplitude 5, maybe, and Guitar Rig, maybe 5. I don't know. Just go out and demo them or listen to them on YouTube. You'll know what I'm talking about. There's another company called STL Tonality that for heavy rock guitars, nothing beats. They have great packs. Howard Benson pack. I think there's a Dan Corneff pack. There's a David Bendith pack. There's other guys. For hard rock and metal and over-the-top guitars, STL Tonality will make your day. Unbelievable plugin. I love the Fab Filter Saturn. Now that's kind of a tape plugin, but I don't think it really pretends to be tape so much. It just mangles great things in a great way. Lots of great presets, and you can really see where you're mangling things. It gives you lots of frequencies. I want to mangle this one, not this one. It's really well done, as is everything in Fab Filter. Decapitator by Sound Toys. Everyone uses that. It's fantastic. Maybe not as varied as the Saturn, Fab Filter Saturn, but still nonetheless really good. And for the low end distortion, the Ampeg SVX, I think that's also by Amplitude. It's fantastic. It's got 4 or 5 bass amps in it that sound just like great bass amps. And there's also one that I use sometimes that's by a company called Mark Studio. It's also a really good bass amp. I don't know much about that company, but Mark, M-A-R-K Studio. So that's kind of the stuff that's been on my last 5 or 6 mixes. So I went through them today, made a list. Sorry, I'm all looking over on my phone a lot today, but I didn't want to get on here and forget some stuff. Now, I probably have forgotten some stuff, and I'm sure there's lots of other great stuff out there that you guys know about that I'd love to hear about, but I can stand by all that and tell you any of that, in my opinion, You're not going to waste your money, and you're going to sound great. And they seem not to crash. Um, all good, all A plus stuff. So let me go through the comments here and see if there's anything that anybody needs to talk about, wants to talk about. It doesn't have to be plugins; it could be anything. But if it is plugins, that's fine too. Um, see what do we got? Let me go back. Man, I'm burping tonight. Get some water. We're supposed to get snow here in the morning in Nashville. I think maybe 4 or 5 inches. Crazy. Sinners Rise. William Sweck. Hey, Bobby. Hey, William. Sinners Rise. Hey, Doc. Good to see you. Good to see you, too. Snow Panther. Love the tuning videos. Awesome. I just did one on Michael Jackson. It didn't do as good as I thought it would. There's lots of cool Easter eggs in there about not only about his vocals, but how Quincy and Michael did the track, and stuff that's in the track that you normally wouldn't hear. So if you haven't seen it, go out and watch it. It's a really cool video. Also, thanks to everyone who paid what you want for the Dr. Bob's Killer Kit and the sizzling cymbals. So thankful that you guys are gravitating towards this kind of stuff. Thanks for their pay what you want, and I think there's sounds that no one else has, and they sound great on every track. I'm going to keep some more stuff coming out like this that I use, and if you haven't seen it or looked at it or bought it, there's a video out called Killer Kit and and another video, Dr. Bob's or just Sizzling Cymbals, I think it is. You can watch the video, hear some of the sounds, and underneath it there's a pay what you want link. If you hit the link to pay what you want, once you pay what you want and hit the pay button, wait 10 seconds, and then it will give you your it'll give you the download information. So anyway, thanks to everyone that's done that, and also thanks to everyone who bought a lot of t-shirts over Christmas. You can also go to my Dr. Bob store and see that, and see some more free and cheap stuff. Almost every one of my videos has links to my store in the descriptions too. So anyway, Mutt Lang is more welcome to come on in. Yes, Brian Baker, Mutt Lang is always welcome to come on in. Obviously, I make no bones about him being one of my all-time favorite producers ever in every genre. Don Nathan, the compressor choice depends on the desired result. Many are good. I agree. In this list I gave, it would be good to go watch some YouTube videos of these, and also demo them. A lot of these companies will give you a demo for, I don't know, a week or two or whatever, and see how they fit into your into what you're working on, and how they fit in with your ear. There's a lot of them though, like an 1176 and stuff like that, that are that can be used on almost everything, and in many different contexts, and always work. But good comment nonetheless, Don. Sinners Rise, Korneff is the man. Yes, Sinners Rise, you are correct. Dan Korneff is the man. He's a great guy, and his plugins are awesome, and he's working on more, and they'll be every bit as good. 500-5379. I heard the Fab Filter Pro C2 vocal setting is giving better results than the RVox. There you go. I'm going to go try it out. I love the RVox, but I have the Pro C2 vocal. It's just not something I go to much. Now I will. My primary compressors, DMG Audio Track Comp, Arouser. Arouser is much like the Distressor. Devil Lock, which is great. Devil Lock's extremely aggressive compressor. Presswork, I don't know that one. And MJUC. Is the MJUC the Klanghelm thing that I was talking about? I can't remember what they call that one. But anyway, Peter Delano, are you serial compressing vocals? How would you advise us? Easy, Peter. Go. I have a video called how the pros compress a vocal, and it shows you exactly what I do in that video. Super simple, super to the point. Sinner's Rise, love the Slate FG Red. Absolutely, the Slate FG Red is modeled after the Focusrite Red compressor that famously Chris Lord Alge uses. I don't know if Tom Lord Alge does too. I've heard maybe he does, but Chris definitely does. And you just have to kiss the meter. You don't have to hit it hard. I love Ozone 9 as well. Totally agree. What a great tool, man. Awesome. Wait, are you calling me a great tool? My tool? No. I get it, man. I'm just messing with you. Don Nathan, I have found many ways to use stock plugins in new ways after experiencing UAD and other vintage plugins. They are all fun. Totally agree. Stock plugins anymore rule. When I first started doing this, the stock plugins that came with Nuendo were like toys. Now they're fantastic, and I'm sure it's that way with all of the. I'm sure it's that way with all of the dolls. Scott Musgrave. Hey Bobby, watching from Sydney, Nova Scotia. Wow. I've been to Nova Scotia. It was beautiful up there. I'm a drummer and a sound technician. Thanks for all your videos and for turning us onto so many great production tips. You rock. So does Mutt Lang. Scott, you rock. Thanks for the kindness and thanks for watching. I bet it's cold in Nova Scotia tonight. It was cold when I went there, but it was beautiful. It was gorgeous. And thanks for hitting me up. Who gave me? Wait, I got a super chat here. What do I? Thanks, David, for the super chat. Hey, everybody, throw me some super chat. Auto Align Post 2 by Sound Radix is an auto phase alignment tool used for film when there's a moving lav mic plus set mics. It works fantastic for drums. The workflow is ultra fast. You got to try it. All right. Everybody remember that. Auto Align Post 2 by Sound Radix. Never heard of it. I'm down for that. I will go back and steal that off of this and go look that up tomorrow. Thank you so much, David, and thanks for the money. What else we have? Where was I? Sorry, guys. L1 has a tone. L2 is more transparent on a master bus. I guess that's true. I don't really use L1 much. The only time I ever use L1 is the Chris Lord Alge trick. If there is a lead vocal that's not been recorded well, that's just all over the place, I'll L1 it a little bit before it hits the first compressor in my channel strip, which is the 1176, just to balance it out a little bit. Now, I'm not creaming it. I just want to get some of those, those transients pushed down a little bit before the 1176 doesn't have to go crazy. So I'm not sure about that. I'm trusting you, Steve. You're probably right, but I do use the L1 for that. Sinner's Rise, Peter Delano. He's got a video on how the pros use compression. He shows that process. Totally worth checking out. Fantastic. I don't know him, but I'll check it out. And like I said, I have a how the pros mix or how the pros record a vocal, how the pros mix a vocal. Anyway, you'll see it. It's on my channel. It's got like picture of David Bendeth and Chris Lord Alge and I think Mike Shipley, who was Mutt Lang's mixer, and somebody else, and it says how the pros something vocal. Check it out. It's exactly what I do. And check out Peter Delano's video. I'm sure it's great. Sinner's Rise, I'm on a mobile, couldn't actually tag you, sorry. No worries, man. Ken McGraw, Massey L2007. I've never used that. Is that PC as well? I'm a PC guy. I don't know if the Massey stuff is just Mac. I could be wrong about that, but thanks, Ken. That's a good one to know. And I don't even know what is the L2007. What is that, Massey? I don't know. Is that a compressor or? Let us know more info on that, Ken. If you think it's great, let us know what it is. I've been digging the newest Waves Lo-Fi Space plugin for Reverb. Really cool. Options and sits fast. Awesome. Good to know. I have that, and I haven't tried it. Now I will. So I'm learning more than you guys. It's pretty selfish of me to come on here and get all your good ideas. I know. Um, William Swick, I second the Abbey Road Chambers. Absolutely. Super cool. I've also heard like that the Ocean Way studio stuff on the UAD platform was great. I don't have it and I don't use it, but I've heard that's great too. Um, LX Lexicon 480 is decent. Scott Musgrave, absolutely. I use Stephen Slate has got some great um, versions of that in the Slate reverb, and I use those, and I love them. And yes, you're correct, Buddy Albert Mog 4. Yes, buddy, you know about the air frequency up there. Yeah, man, awesome. And Plug-in Alliance offers the Mog. Yes, I use the UAD one. And I think it's the same one in Plug-in Alliance. I learned about that one from Dave Pensado. What else? When you mix multiple songs for an EP or LP, do you stay consistent with EQ compressor plugins across songs, or does it matter? Usually I kind of do because, like I said, that's kind of my workflow. Um, I've got some templates set up. Like if I have a lead vocal on this song, and I love the way that it is, and it's the same singer for the next song, I'll save that channel. When I open the new song, I can apply that channel, that lead vocal, to the lead vocal in the second song, especially if it's the same lead singer. Now, it doesn't always work perfectly because it's a different tempo, it could be a different key or whatever, but it gets me a good starting point, almost like a preset point. But I would say normally, yes, I stay consistent. Now, depending on the song, if there's like some special effects or things that need to happen in a certain song that didn't need to happen in the last song, I would add those. But yes, I would say 85% of each song would kind of have the same thing because you would want some consistency um, in that record. Galaxy Tape Echo UAD is one of my faves. Yeah, buddy, mine too. Great one. Sinner's Rise. It's just called Repeater and Slate. Okay, it's the Repeater D16 um, delay that I was referencing, and he said it's just called Repeater and Slate. So that's great. Billy Marsh, Valhalla delay. Absolutely. Anything Valhalla. I mentioned that in the reverbs, but I'll agree with Billy that the Valhalla delay is awesome too. The V comp is great on vocals. Okay, thanks, Jamie. Um, I just have not had luck with V comp, the V series Waves V series stuff, which is their Neve stuff. But um, hey, man, that's just me. You're having luck with it, and that's all that matters. Uh, Ryan Kerwin, thanks for the fist pumps. Das Boots, agree with the tape thing. Yeah, man. I just don't. I don't hear it. I don't know. It's just. It just sounds like it's doing some EQ things that I would have done had I wanted them. Studer tape in Luna works well for me, Buddy Albert. Now I will say Luna is a different animal, and there's a lot of people that love Luna. It does things a different way. I have not been able to mess with it yet because it's still not PC, but I have some friends in Nashville that have switched to it from Pro Tools and absolutely swear by it. So, Buddy Albert, have you tried the UAD API console in Luna? No, I've not. I know they have the console and the summing. I have tried the API in Universal Audio, and it's fantastic. And I use it for on my remote rig. I use it to record vocals through. I can't remember what they call it. Universal Audio has that. They have the plugins that you can record through, and I can never remember the name of it. But my lead vocal on that is the API Unison plugins. The API Unison plugin. API is what I record vocals through on my remote rig. Buddy Albert, 1+1 on the micro shift. I like relay for widening. That's a great one. I've not used it, but I've heard great things. Thank you, Steve. Wow, Sukit Puthalot. Suchit Puthalot. Wow, sorry, I'm butchering your name, man. Thanks for putting up with my horrible. Bobby, sir, you're simply amazing. Gratitude for all the in-depth tips and tricks and you enlighten us with. Love from India. How freaking cool. Please tell us something about your early journey in music. Wow, man. Welcome from India. My early journey in music, I wanted to be a studio drummer like Jeff Porcaro and Toto, and was a studio drummer for quite a while. And then I heard, other guys like David Foster and Mutt Lange and Keith Olsen and all these great producers making records. And as a studio musician, I was playing on a lot of songs that I didn't even like, even though I was getting paid to play on them. So I started to write and make songs and make demos. And at the same time, I was drumming. And then I was in LA and I moved to Nashville, and I was the drummer for a very successful country group called Black Hawk. I was not in the band, but I was a side guy, and they were fantastic to me. And I got a publishing deal at the same time and continued to write songs and started producing rock stuff and country stuff and writing rock stuff. And then I was, while I did all that, Leanne Rimes' organization made me an offer I couldn't refuse. And then while I was doing all that, I was on the road with her for a year. And then got off the road and have been doing this ever since. So that's kind of, but I grew up in a small town, Indiana, and here I am all these years later talking to you in India, which is so freaking cool. So, Sinners Rise, love the Wave Stereo plugin. Yeah, it's fantastic. You should check out Widener from Joey Sturgis as well, another good one. I will, because Joey Sturgis has contacted me before, and Joey Sturgis' stuff is sick. It's great. STL Tonality and Howard Benson stuff is so good. Yeah, it's unreal. Fantastic. Adam Story. I ran into Sumner over the weekend, and he said that he loves to use tape machine plugins to run your videos through. He says making it hit the red makes everything warmer because of tubes. That's hilarious. That freaking idiot Sumner would do that. He isn't back from school yet. He's been wasted the whole Christmas vacation, and I haven't been able to get him on the phone. What a useless. What else we have? Have you ever used the Neumann TLM 103 for vocals, Jim Hamilton, and any other good vocal mics you recommend? No, I've never used that. I absolutely love an SM7 for vocals. I know that's not cool and sexy and whatever, but the SM7 never, ever fails me. I love it. Run it through a great mic pre, and it's phenomenal. If that doesn't work, which it works 95% of the time for me, I'll try a 251 or a 47. And between one of those three, I've got it. I have a 251, a 47, the Slate mic, an SM7, some Audio-Technica stuff, and sorry, man, I just end up using the SM7 all the time. It sounds great. The Klinghelm MGUC is great compressor for kick in. Awesome. I didn't know. That's great to know, David. I will use it for that. I love this new compressor. And to whoever recommended it to me on Facebook, thank you so much. Das Boots, Ice here in Memphis. It's coming this way. The Boston 100 in Amplitude is awesome. It's awesome. I don't know what the Boston 100 is, but I know the Rockman is awesome. I don't know that there's any other Rockman plugin except for the one in Amplitude. CLA Guitars is easy and fantastic to use for me. Great, thank you, Theriot 5150. What else we got? No Vox compression video from me. Sinners Rise is pointing me to Bobby's video. Oh, sorry, man. I misread that. Well, go make your own video about it, Peter. It'll be great. Um, let me. I'm going long in the tooth here, guys. I apologize. Let me skip down here to the end and get some of these in, and then get off here and let you get on with your night. What else? I keep it pretty simple, but I mix and master for a living. I prefer the modular workflow as well. Slate, Isotope, Softtube, and Arturia are the companies I use the most. Absolutely. All those are great. I will address Arturia in a later video because I'm going to do a VST instrument plugins that are worth your money. What else? Symbiont. I'm also from India. Man, that's killer. How are you guys seeing this tonight in India? What time is it there? Thanks for tuning in. SM7 rules with a great pre and a cloud lifter. Yes, the cloud lifter will. SM7 has a kind of a low output, and the cloud lifter will boost your output to your mic pre. It's just a little box device. It's great. You're totally correct, K-Mac. Steven Sensenig. When did you drum with Leanne Rhymes? I used to work with Mike Wachowski, butchering that spelling, who drummed for her back in the late 90s. I played with her. Oh, man, when was it? Probably maybe I was after him, maybe right around 2000 or something. There's a video I have out that shows me playing live with her on the Tonight Show. Just go to my channel and watch it. I think it was around 2000 for a year. Great singer, great girl, super pro, super easy tour. Toured all over the world. Great. I mean, first class everything. Super cool. Last one here. Aaron Drury. Got here a bit late. Have you tried Eventide Split EQ? Yes, I addressed that earlier, and I've just gotten it and I've started trying it out on things, and I want to get better at it before I talk about it with you. But so far, I think it's amazing, and it does something that I know people said that a couple other plug-in manufacturers do, but it's never anything that I've never any plugin that I've had before that has done what this does. And it's, gosh, the things they do now, the way they can split up sounds, and you can EQ the transients differently from the body and something. It's just all awesome, man. It's fantastic. But yes, that one will be in my template for a long time. I'm just not comfortable to talk about it in front of you yet because I want to get better at it, and I don't want to mislead anyone. Are you using Ozone 9 Advanced to use the reference track calculation for your master? No, I don't do that. I've heard people that do it, but what I do is I have a song in my DAW that is much like a song that I'm working on. Say if I'm working on a Ariana Grande song, or a type song, I'll have an Ariana Grande song that's kind of the same tempo and a little bit of the vibe of the song that I'm working on. And what I'll do is just by ear, I'll try to match their low end, their high end, and their relationships of things in the song. I'll try to match that by ear to that. But I've never done the mastering, the reference thing. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm sure it works great, but I'd rather do it by ear, and so far I'm lucking out. It's good. But anyway, thank you all. Man, I've gone long tonight. I usually go like a half an hour, and I think I've gone an hour. But it's beginning of the year, and it's nice to talk to everybody. And I wanted to get this list to everyone because there were some comments, like I said, from last week. Well, hey, man, what are you using? Now that we realize that you can, you feel comfortable about saying that the DAW plugins that come with the DAW is great. That's good, but we want to know what you're using. So always happy to share what I'm using. I don't hold anything back. Um, People that I've been associated with in my past haven't held back from me, and they've been very forthcoming about their secrets and the way they do things. And I love doing the same, paying it forward. So thanks again to everyone who hung out tonight. Great video coming out tomorrow. Stay warm, stay safe. For those of you that are in the Tennessee area where there's snow tonight. And thanks for everyone who commented, and to everyone who's watching, and to my friends from India tonight. Thanks for speaking up that you're from India. How cool. Be safe, warm, and dry over there too. I'll talk to you all later, and remember, take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you the next time the doctor's in. See you guys.